Well, I guess this
Maybe.
rules out our previous guess that he'd been experimented on, considering he's been doing this his whole life.
I'd agree with that.
I mean, unless he gets experimented on after the fact, considering he's been breaking his bones this whole time.
Yeah, that. Okay, so is this a case where he has super strength but not super durability?
Hey everybody, welcome back to another Stone Face Reactions. I'm Theta, this is Justin, and we are back with Durarara. Let's see, we have some comments. Since last time we did the run through to get Justin all caught up to where we were. That was last month's project, so now all of those episodes have gone out. People got to see them, people got to comment on them. Now that we're doing the new episode, we're going to get all those comments into one. So Keelian from Exit 1 slash First Words, in regards to connections to Bakano, it's sparse, but there is some crossover between the two. For example, Nebula is a company that exists in both works. In Bakano, they were responsible for building the train that gets hijacked. In Durarara, Nebula has a pharmaceutical branch in the area of Akikabukaru.
Okay, I like the connection.
War on Reactors, from the episode Highly Unpredictable, in regards to the marks on Azaya's arm, that is a tally marking system. I'm going to paste this to you. The symbol. Because there's no way I'm going to say the symbol. You didn't give me a pronunciation. War on Reactors. Counts to 5 with each line, so he could have been marking that 4 were saved or didn't jump.
Ah,
War on Reactors also from the episode Rampant Evil. The narrator for each episode is one of the characters and not necessarily who the episode is focused on. That coma idea is pretty out there. Bakano is mainly set during the 1930s Prohibition era. There are also many posters of it in this episode.
noted. And very interesting period of time.
I mean, helped work on a tabletop game set in the Roaring 20s, so 1930s, not too far off.
Did it have animals because drawing?
Well, it is because it was a Sanguine game. Same people that make Iron Claw.
Hell yeah.
Killian from the episode False Advertising. Regarding a picture where Kita has his arm around a girl, where I say implying Kita is her boyfriend. More importantly is that he was a yellow scarf, as we see in the photo.
Oh, was that the was that the one gang?
Well, we know yellow is one of the gang colors.
Yes. Okay. Cool.
And another one from War on Reactors from Active Interest. The password to the Dollars website was Bakano. Another anime slash manga referenced a few times is Bludgeoning Angel Duruko-chan. And season 1 has 24 plus episodes, and the OVA is episode 12.5. Season 2 has 36 episodes, 3 12-episode runs, and each has an OVA. Here it is again. Hihi. Ikikabaru would be Ikebakuru. Sorry, pronunciation guide. Ikebokuro. Ikebokuro.
Yeah, Ikebokuro.
Yeah. Problem is that I stick it in my head with however I said it the first time. You know, if you've ever like read a book and you've only seen the word spelled, and then you get it in your head because you've repeated it to yourself so many times that this is how it is, and then somebody tells you, no, that's not how you say that, you say it this way. And you just default to your self-taught way because it's ingrained now.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
And lastly, we have Furio from Active Interest. I do suggest to try and figure out the chat rooms based on what they say/know, rather than voice or nicknames, since they often change those.
Interesting.
Anyway, those have been our comments. How about you go ahead and tell us what happened last time?
Okay. The only real detail I remember from last time was the kidnapping stuff with like the I don't know what to call the space they did it from
What do you
because it
mean?
looked like a drug den.
Oh,
Well, at the same time, there was like three high school girls who were just there sitting in a room.
yeah, I mean, we had a whole conversation about that very specific item.
Yes, but we had a gang bust into there, kidnap Castano. Then it turned into a whole chase and finding them, and and then conflict between the traffickers and one of our other groups, and that is when our headless horseman also pulled into uh headed that same direction. I remember nothing else.
All right. Well, I guess with that we should go ahead and go over to the board then.
Yes.
I have added a number of people from the last time, mostly to the right-hand side of the board. Nope, you're looking at somebody added last time. New people are over here.
Got it.
I also realized I forgot to connect Hasim to anybody. I guess I'll make those connections next time. Hasim should be connected to the group here
Got it.
because that's who they talked to. I think they talked to somebody else at the beginning of the episode, but it's not coming off the top of my head. So they should have two different connections. My problem is what even the viewers can't see right now is that I was doing all of this morning, and concept board is having a bit of a problem. Like I had to wait like 5 minutes to get any of these pictures onto the board, and in my upper left hand corner I can see that it's still telling me it's converting the image of Raruri here. So
Mhm.
I don't know. Some problems going on their end, which made this all very much a hassle. I mean, anything you think that I've missed or don't have represented here?
There is not.
Because we got the idol, we got
Yep.
Seiji's sister,
Yep.
Kazanto, the scalper, I guess is what he is,
Yeah. Yeah. It very much seems so. And he has the connection to the human traffickers.
who tried to human traffic him.
Yep.
Yeah, so those are the four. These three and person here.
Yep.
So I was gonna say, I realize I don't want to misgender them. It could easily be a small boy or a small girl. Alright, well, if that's all for the board, then this would be one of those weird episodes where I don't have a Theta's Thoughts section because I gave it to you all last time because I had it pre-written out since I had watched the last episode before we went back through and covered it. But I do have one last thought that I thought up this morning while I was doing the board. We've
This is now
seen,
the Theta's thought section, not
yeah,
thought.
yeah,
Individual thought.
just the one. We've seen just about every strange background person show up in an episode already. The only one still lingering in my mind is the crazy looking girl that walks past the guys in the subway during episode 1. I guess also Tom, who was walking with Shinra in a couple of episodes, and those two suit wearing guys that were chasing our main characters in one scene that we haven't gone over again. While fixing up the board, I had the thought that what if our singing idol that Subaru had a thing for is her? It's either that or we saw the new monster girl without the shadow covering her in the first episode.
I think it's more likely to be Monster Girl.
I just thought it would be real easy if it was just the idol dressed up in some sort of idol costume.
As idols do.
Well, I mean, they dress not normal to normal people.
It's true. It's true. No, I think that is very much a possibility as well.
All right. Well, the only thing that remains to do is once again thank Master Detective for sponsoring this watch through. So once again, thank you, Master Detective.
Hell yeah! Thank you very much.
But with that, I guess we should just go ahead and get on into it.
Let's do it.
But before we get started,
Make sure that you hit the like button.
hit that subscribe button.
Comment down below to feed that algorithm.
On top of all that, if you want to watch more shows like this, unfiltered,
Uncensored.
And uncut.
as well as some early access stuff,
You can check it out over on the Patreon.
It's just $5 a month, but hey, no pressure.
There's zero pressure in order to do that. It's just a little bit of extra support, and it would be greatly appreciated.
There's a music note in their background that I never noticed. Of the specifically that one scene, obviously it's not going to show up here ever again, but not a music themed show though, so I guess that doesn't mean anything.
That's what happens when I get mad. I just throw I just throw booths and telephone booths and vending machines at people.
I mean, technically, your camera is over top of his character, so we're going by our previous overlay rules. He's you in the show.
Best part is I didn't even recall that.
I don't know if I ever told you.
Most likely, it's possible that you didn't.
I mean, my camera's sitting over him, guy with the black outfit, trying to get girls to jump off of buildings.
Why would you tell people to jump off of buildings?
I don't know. Interested in human spirit.
Okay.
I know you're asking me to answer a mystery of the show, so I don't know.
I was just trying to get some insight, you know?
Oh, I don't. That's literally what my last comment was about. Also, I think they're adding people. There was a disheveled girl there during the opening that I don't recall being there before.
I also don't remember this.
You do remember this person? We were just talking about them.
No, what I meant was that shot at the end before they showed the Dullahan.
Oh, you mean the person I was talking about?
Yes. That's not love, man.
最初に言っておく。何が本当の俺は暴力が嫌いだ。
Also, that was Tom. So, the guy I said was still interested to know about.
Got it.
らしいですよ。あのバーテンの服着てる人ですよね。平和島静雄さん。ええ、もともと怖い人だって話ですけど、このところ特にひどいんですって。池袋は今戦場のようなありさまだって。僕も前に見たことありますけど、やっぱ怖い人なんですね。
I mean, yeah, a bunch of people did. He took on all those fake dollars.
あまり
Whatever the hell
True.
that still means.
おやセットンさん、平和島さんのお知り合い？
Didn't we also discuss the idea that there's no such thing as a fake dollar because anyone can be a dollar?
たくどいつもこいつもぶっ飛ばされちゃ
I mean, we did, but that I think you can be a fake dollar.
くせ
If you don't sign up on the website to be a dollar and just call yourself a dollar, that could make you a fake dollar, I guess.
2、3日前から帰ってみるとよ最近多いな噂の人間狩りってやつかくせえおいおい怪我人出てるじゃねえかよ切り裂き魔だってついさっきかよ俺見たぜあっちの方に逃げたたく
Yeah, but I mean, we already heard. The slasher doesn't kill people, it just hurts people.
Yeah.
くせえ
Those were creepy red eyes.
やっぱりくせえ街中が匂いやがる何の匂いだああうぜえはい静雄トムさんようサイモン静雄すまねえ最近機嫌が悪くってよおお静雄思春期かつーか反抗期だ
I mean, also, I specifically asked if these restaurants are actually making people into food, so.
Mm-hmm.
久しぶりだな
Hey, darker than black. Oh, and Bakano was right there, too. Darker than Black is another superpower anime.
Okay.
They have only seen like 5 episodes of it, though.
失礼実は私
Oh,
こういう
snap.
ものでしてルックスだけではなく演技もなかなかのものですからねデビュー作なんて言いましたっけね
Okay.
そうそう吸血忍者カーミラ才蔵
Vampire ninjas. Carmela. What? Okay. That's cool.
あの頃から大物になると思ってましたよ確かアクションもスタントなしでこなしてましたよねお兄さんの指導があったとかなかったとか
You can tell that they're cool because they didn't look at the explosion.
ことについてぜひお話しよう
Is that Black Butler? I can't tell.
俺は暴力が嫌いだ
People really just need to stop talking to this guy.
こんなだったわけじゃねえんだ一番最初は弟のカスカと喧嘩した時だつまんねえことで切れた俺は冷蔵庫を持ち上げてぶん投げようとした
I mean, to his benefit, he didn't react at all, so.
Yeah.
持ち上がるなんて思ったわけじゃねえただ持ち上げずにはいられなかったそれから自分を抑えきれねえ怒りが湧くと体が勝手に動いちまう
Well, I guess this
Maybe?
rules out our previous guess that he'd been experimented on. Considering he's been doing this his whole life.
I'd agree with that.
I mean, unless he gets experimented on after the fact, considering he's been breaking his bones this whole time.
Yeah, that. Okay, so is this a case where he has super strength but not super durability?
Which is a conversation I think we've had before, but I don't even think it
It
related
is.
to this.
細けいことはわからねえ。とにかく俺は怒りを抑えられねえ。そして周りのもんをぶっ壊し、俺の体もぶっ壊れる。それだけは分かった。そして、俺は我慢をやめた。どうせできねえなら初めっからする必要なんじゃねえ。体が壊れる。知ったことか。俺の体は何度もぶっ壊れた。そしてその度に強くなった。
Okay, so now
シンラが言う
he just kind of kick-assed it.
Yep.
だけどよ。
If there is any method to take in that situation.
ちょっと待ってて。はい。牛乳飲んで強くならないとね。
Ah, stopped breaking his bones because he started drinking milk.
どうも。
That's right, the solution is drink milk.
She didn't look familiar, so I don't...
No, I didn't get any. I don't recall them from the opening. I don't. Yeah. Oh, that's a shakedown.
I don't see any blood.
やっちまった。なんつうか、気がつくと俺は。どうしてこうなった
Feels just like that episode of Jujutsu Kaisen we
なん
watched
かトラウマがあるわけでもね
with
Little bit.
Kento's backstory.
え。よ
ガスか。何？お前、俺のこと怖くないのか。別に。
Oh man, I stay really far away when you go into those things.
Yeah.
ライラに入学した頃だった。
Good old headless.
また同じ学校に通えるなんてなんだか運命を感じるね。
黙れ。
どう？その後の体の調子は。そうだ、再会の記念に検
Oh,
査
that kid was Shinra? I didn't recognize him.
ダメ？
I think so.
せめて採血だけでも。セルティ、昨日はどうしたの？帰ってこないから心配したよ。また首を探してたの？そんなこと言ってどこかにいい人ができたんじゃ。セルティ、地味に溝落ちつっつくの。
変な感じがした。なんて言っていいのかわかんないけど。こいつはって。
Okay.
嫌なことを思い出しちまった。そうだ、そうだった。
He just keeps on talking.
虫野郎が俺の前に現れたのはあの頃だった。あいつが、折原伊佐也がよ。
Okay. Joker.
You say that as that laugh kicks in.
No, I think I'm actually just like couple seconds ahead of you or something for some
あいつの
reason.
ことは
I said it after I heard the laugh. I
I
wasn't
think you
like,
might be then.
yeah, I wasn't predicting the laugh.
ひどいなシンラ
いやいや、悪い意味じゃなくて。
Okay, Shinra knows him
気
too.
に入らないおや残念君となら楽しめると思うんだけどなうるせえそんなこと言わないでさ静雄くん
Had a knife with him at all times back then too.
ほら楽しいだろあったその日
Yeah, dude's just always had a knife.
理由なんかねただ気に入らなかっただけだ
I don't know, maybe it's because he stabbed you. Or sliced you.
大丈夫ですか大丈夫大丈夫彼頑丈にできてるから
He's like, oh shit, I hit a kid.
本当に大丈夫なんですか大丈夫
No worries, for tough.
ご苦労さんああしくじっちまった
Thanks for hitting that guy. Here's some cash. Don't worry about it.
お、奇遇だね。イザヤも来てるよ。
つうかなんで無傷なわけ次の日からうぜえ日々が始まった次から次へとわけのわかんねえ連中が喧嘩を打ってきた俺は何にもしてねえただ静かに暮らしてだけなのによ
Said you never.
くそムカつくうぜえうぜえうぜえうぜえうぜえうぜえうぜえ
Is his strength tied to his emotions then? Or is it?
分かってるよ
Do we know his brother in the present?
Not that I'm aware of.
Kind of looks like that one girl's brother, just with a different colored hair.
A little bit.
ここで奴を殺しておけばよクソナイラを卒業してから
Only I killed him.
似合う？
バカはこんな感じで飲み虫はヤクザとつるんで何かやってたとにかくしばらくは静かだったでもって俺は
So from high school gang leader to Yakuza guy.
And now lifting up cars.
どういうわけかいらっしゃい
Super Sentai.
おい見たか嘘だろ俳優の羽島雄平だようカツカどうしたんだバーテン服
あまり仕事は変えない方がいいと思う。
I think he's not destroying the bar right now,
いつま
so
でも続けられるよう
maybe it's a good fit.
たくさん買っておいた。
ありがとよま頑張ってみるわそれがくそ飲み虫野郎にはめられち
So
ゃ
yeah,
っ
just a quick glance at my board. I can confirm there's no Kazuka on my board right now.
I didn't recall seeing a Kazuka, so.
悪い約束守れなかったお静雄じゃんトムさんは俺の中学の先輩で 借金の回収業を手伝えって言ってきた。ま、要は用心棒ってわけだ。初めは気が乗らなかった。トムさんは別に無理に手あげることはねえって。袋で平和島しぞってきたよ。
So why does he hang out with the Shinra then?
Yeah.
I mean Tom, not this guy.
かすかなやつ忙しくなっちまって、あれっきり会えてなかったからよ。あいつ怒ってっか。なんだ？
Wait, do they not share any name? Kazuka Yuhei isn't any part of Shizo's name.
It could be like a chosen stage name.
なんだかわかんねえが、気が楽になった。でもって、俺は今もトムさんと働いてる。
最近や難しいことわかんない。俺たちゆとりだし。そうそう、学校、社会、みんな悪いの。心の闇だっつーの。
あのな、
わかんねえっつってんの。消えろ、おっさん。
おっさんもお仕事なんだな。
あ、なんだよその目は。おい、何その格好。バカ、執事だよ、執事。
お前ら、静雄のこと知
Maybe
ら
it
ない
was a
か。
Black Butler poster before to allude to this.
そうなの？執事さん。吹いた。おかわり持ってきてくださいませんかと。
Okay. Oh.
袋にいて静雄を知らねえとは。確かにゆとりだわな。俺の服。弟からもらった服。
Yeah, so it looks like they're betting on horse racing.
Yeah. That was obvious.
I didn't know if it was an actual bet or if it was some sort of weird
No, it's a virtual horse race thing.
virtual pet.
No.
Because the way he touched the screen and the heart showed up.
No, they're in like a gambling parlor thing because it's filled with slot machines and whatnot.
Yeah.
そうか、よかった。
ここんとこずっとイライラしててよ。わけわかんねえんだけど。
あ、そんな噂を聞いて気になっていたんだ。
そうか。悪いな。気使わせちまって。
So is this a love triangle?
If it is a love triangle, it's a weird shaped triangle.
Nah. Shinra likes her, she likes him. All you need is 3 people. It doesn't have to actually be a triangle. Just like terminology.
100%. It's more what I mean, like we're not dealing with one of these. We're dealing with one of these. Because
Well, no.
clearly there is.
It's, for me, it's just a straight line. You just call it a love triangle. Shinra likes her, she likes Shinzo. There's no actual connection between the ends. It's just that it involves 3 people. I mean, it could be a polycule if they just all agree.
Depending on when this was released, I think that's very much possible.
思春期終わったか？じゃあ寿司食うね。寿司はいいよ。うまいよ。またな。
Are you done with puberty? Then eat sushi.
More people in color.
What's the significance of the color?
If I knew, I'd stop bringing it up.
いざそうか。くせえくせえと思ったらお前の何をしている？
Like, you're strong, he's fast.
Yeah. They are destined to do this dance for all of time.
Alright, well, backstory episode accomplished.
Hell yeah. That was a fun little backstory episode.
Well,
Didn't
for me, it
answer
was less...
anything, but...
Well, you did. It was less about Shizo and more about Shinra for me. I mean, it covered a lot of Shizo's, I don't know, the reasons why he's doing stuff, even though it's not really reasons. But the fact that Shinra was throughout the episode connecting to people we've never seen Shinra connected to, also
Yeah.
explaining what Tom is all about, considering that was a question that I asked just before we started. So, yeah, I mean, it fits a bunch of stuff.
It also answered how powers work within this at least this continuity or this show, where you have one and then it's just a painful adaptation.
I don't know that that's true. I mean, in the way that you said it explains powers, it explains that guy's one power. Don't forget, we have a Doulahan in the show, which is
Oh,
just
of
a
course.
mythological, legendary creature.
I don't think it gives the perfect explanation for everything, but I think it gives us a basis to at least start off of.
向こうが目覚めている時私は眠り私が目覚めている時向こうは目を閉じているのだろうか次回何かの夢
You can't wake up if you don't fall asleep.
It's true.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean, like you said, it gave us an explanation of how powers work, and I'm just saying that we already have two different power sets, and no example about how a Zaya super speed thing works unless he's just doing it at normal speed really fast. So, I don't think we could take one example and apply it to everything.
Well, Azaya could also not actually be a speed thing. It could be it's not luck or probability. Probability might be a better descriptor of it.
No, he's clearly moving really fast. Probability would be like if he was like getting missed all the time, or
That's what I'm saying. It could be the fact that he's seeing it coming.
No, he's clearly moving fast. Like,
Okay.
he vanishes from in front of Shizu and like circles around him at super speed. That's not like dodging hits. That is moving with intent.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a debate I literally just watched on YouTube Shorts a little while ago. The difference between time travel and teleportation.
Ah.
Why would I pick? Well, it was a joke video, but it's like pick one, teleportation or time travel. And the person was saying like, why would I pick teleportation? That's just time travel. What's the difference of appearing somewhere and coming back again if I just freeze time, walk over there, and then start time again? To you, it would look like teleportation.
I get the argument. I would never want time travel.
I mean, it would be the superior power to teleportation.
The responsibility that would come with it is way too much.
It's only responsibility if you care. I mean, that was also a really funny old college humor joke. The kid who's the adult who's like watching old Pog commercials and everything. It's like, oh man, I wish I could go back to the '90s. Everything was so much cooler in the '90s. And like time traveling '90s kid shows up and is like, yeah, let's go back to the '90s. And it's like brings him back to his old bedroom and all this stuff. And it's like, yeah, it's awesome. We can play Pogs, but first we have to stop 9/11. It's your responsibility now. You're gonna have to, it's all about him having to. He's like, oh, I'll just call in. There's no way they'll believe you, and you're gonna have to kill one of the terrorists. And you're like, what? And then you're gonna have to assume their identity, because otherwise you'll never be able to stop all the other ones that are currently in operation. You're gonna have to make a scene. Wait, I'm gonna have to take the fall for 9/11? It's the only way to stop 9/11.
That's so good.
So it ends with him being dragged off to prison with people shouting obscenities at him, and him just thinking, man, now I get to play Pog.
Because that's what matters in the end. You know, it comes down to getting to slam your pogs.
I'm just saying that time travel only comes with responsibilities if you believe that they are your responsibilities. At the end of the day, you do come from a timeline where 9/11 happened and Hitler was a thing. So, why would you
Yeah.
change? I mean, it's not your duty to change history. You come about because of that history. So, changing it, depending on your variant of the many worlds theory, could erase you from existence, causing paradox in which you could never have existed without those events.
I'm not even thinking more about the past. I'm also thinking about the future because it's the case of, well, every action has an equal and opposite reaction. So what's the reaction of you traveling
Well, you're already
within?
misinterpreting all of this based on time travel. Everything has a every action has a reaction is only pertinent out where time travel is not a thing. Because with time travel, you can see the reaction to an action that never took place.
Fair enough.
I do believe that. Well, my last thought on this, because we're on a ramble.
Yeah.
My last thought on this, I do remember. I wish I could figure it out what it was. It was like short, not a short, like a I think maybe I saw it on Showtime or HBO or something like this way back when you could only see these things on it. The concept of a universe that would not allow time travel in it. So this guy invents time travel, and then the sun goes supernova.
Ah.
So there's just no way to create time travel because the universe will not allow it. I think the whole thing was like a lead up. Like small things kept preventing his time travel calculations from working. And then finally he finds a way to just get it to work no matter what. And then he looks up and the sun just fucking explodes. It's like, no, no time travel.
That's a pretty great. Nah, fam, you're not doing that. I see you.
But yeah, this episode. I mean, is there anything you want to take away from it right now?
It was all like, I think it rounds out the character and explains some stuff. But I think again it seems it seems like there's a central question of what the hell is going on.
I mean,
And it seems like we're dancing around that almost like water going down a drain.
you must have some shit drains in your house. Water's supposed to go down, just straight down. Water follows
Well,
the
no, because
path of least resistance.
if you fill the sink, you see the central point where the water's going down. That's what I mean. Like, I think we're
Your example never
swirling
included
around.
filling the sink. You just said water going down a drain. You know, like Itsy Bitsy Spider, if you will.
Well, no, because Itsy Bitsy Spider went up the water spout. We're not going up.
Itsy Bitsy was a spider, not the water. If you might recall, water came down the drain and washed the spider out.
Again?
What?
Never mind. Yeah, so it just left me in a state going, what are we doing?
I mean, the episode was basically like the origin of Kick-Ass. So
yes,
I mean that was basically it, and then we got more stuff at the end, which connected a bunch of characters together, like Tom and Shinra. Not so much Celty, because we've already seen Celty interact with him before.
Yeah, but we haven't got the chance to actually sit in it and have it like that the interactions we saw were different.
I mean, not really. All they had was this time they had words attached to them. Otherwise, it was like, Shinzu pointing her in a different direction. There wasn't that much depth to the interaction. And we already saw that he knew Shinra. Shinra introduced him to Celty, and then he was back at their apartment before, threatening to hit Isaiah with a vending machine, I guess, from their hallway.
Either that or a fridge.
I mean, my point is just that he's been in their home before, so
yes.
And again, not much was really said between them other than the "you really like your brother, huh?" So there's not really much of a connection going on there. There's no more depth to their relationship than we've already seen with him pointing her in the right direction in the past.
The depth is there because of the the implication of closeness.
I
We
don't
didn't get to
think.
see that implication before.
I mean, the implication is has no more depth to it than again him pointing her in the right direction.
I think there's more to it. I think I picked up on more.
I'm not saying that there isn't more to it. I'm just saying the level that we saw in the episode is no more there. The fact that he would go out of his way to point her in the right direction indicates to me friendship, or at least a desire for the greater good to be done. And the conversation that they had through the thing is about the same level, just indicating friendship. I feel like if they were going to indicate that there's something more going on, that when Shinra is getting those hits to the solar plexus, they would be indicating through Shizu's thought process that, oh, then that's when I had some sort of attraction. You know, there would be something else going on in his brain, considering that he's also remembering it and not just going through what he was thinking at the time.
I see both sides. I still think I picked up on something.
Of course you do. I mean,
Yep.
I'm not gonna argue what you. Well, I am obviously I am arguing, but I'm not going to say you didn't see something that you saw. I'm just trying to put it into my own context of what I think it means, and what I don't think it means.
Just for you, I'm going to say this. I think it's because they trauma bonded. I do not. I do not.
Yeah, I was about to say I don't think so. It's hard to say that Shizu has trauma. It's weird because it clearly the whole episode is about him like going through this. My thing is that we see him breaking all of his bones and acting angrily towards people, but he never seems hurt by it. Like he gets angry, and even when he's like shacked up in the hospital, his facial expression and even the tone of his voice when he's recollecting it is just like this was a thing.
I hmm.
Trauma involves trauma, and he did not feel like he had trauma. It felt like he was like,
Trauma involves trauma.
well, yeah,
Okay.
well, yeah. It's fuck, I can't remember the name of the word. It's when you loop around in logical situations. You know, where
It's just,
a thing is a thing is an example of that.
I know what you're talking about.
A fish is a
Um,
fish. The word isn't even close to
so
being on the edge of my head, but
I
yeah,
clearly see trauma in why he's the way he is.
anger and
But
frustration is all I see in him.
I think that's how it comes out.
See, that's a different argument. That's what expressions of trauma do you degree is viable? Like anything. It, trauma is like the flu. Anything can be a symptom of it.
It's true. So I don't think it's a guarantee that what I'm seeing is actually there.
I mean, plus we saw his childhood to adulthood. I didn't see any trauma in there. I mean,
So the
again,
closest,
people are gonna point out the fact he's breaking his bones and spending a lot of time in the hospital. But again, that's a symptom of his anger and frustration. He doesn't seem to have any like negative emotion tied specifically to being in the hospital.
no, because at that point it would become a state of like, oh, time to go to the hospital.
Yeah, and even as he mentioned at some point during there that he just stopped fucking caring. If it was gonna happen anyways, then why worry about it? Which is kind of a whole a whole vibe in itself, an anti-trauma vibe.
But that's not it could be an anti-trauma vibe, or it's just a coping mechanism to deal with trauma. Like
I don't think so.
It's a hard left or a hard right because it's a very distinct reaction.
It's ironically tied into a music video that I linked lessons during a Macross reaction. I haven't remember that episode of Don't Worry, Be Happy. Also reminds me of I can't remember his name, a sheep during one of the side episodes of Garfield and Friends, which featured, I think it was Orville on the farm. I can't remember what it's called, but there's a sheep that also sings a song about not worrying about problems that you can't affect. If you can change them, there's no point worrying about it because you can't change them. If you can't change them, there's no point worrying about it because you can't change them. So there's no point in worrying.
The best example I can think of is like the kid in school who is smart but never answers questions because they don't want to be the center of attention.
Clearly, this guy does not care about being the center of attention.
It's true, but it's just that's more an explanation to the idea of either he actually doesn't care and he's just said fuck it, I'm living my life, or that attitude is a fake it till you make it to cover up what he's actually going through. That's more what I mean.
Well, my thing is that we were in his head this whole episode, and he never once mentions trauma or, an emotional pain or anything of that sort.
Because it could have been that. It just could have been that is not what he's focusing on right now.
Except that he was thinking about his entire life. So,
mm-hmm.
Can you think back to when you were like 5 and retrace your life up to today and not come across a sad moment to talk about?
Yeah, but if I'm giving, if I'm going, let's say I'm explaining to someone or telling someone about my life, I'm not going to tell them about the bulk of the sad shit.
Yeah, you're going to bring up at least one of the two things that have shaped your life or changed the course, the trajectory your life has gone on, right?
True.
I was going to do this thing, but then she decided she wanted to do something else with her life, and I had to find something to occupy my time, which is why I picked up cooking. Yeah, something, right? Something sad would eventually come up because we are.
Oh, of course.
We are not creatures of non-emotion or an island unto ourselves. We are constantly changed by the people around us, and not for always the positive. So I'm saying it would be impossible to do that.
Don't you tell me I'm not an island. I'll be an island if I want to be.
You have a job.
That
means you're already being employed by somebody and then affect other people around you.
Yeah.
Being a part of the capitalist society that is formed around us means it's impossible for any man to become an island.
True. But yeah, no, it was an enjoyable episode. And I had a thought earlier, but it jumped out of my brain. I don't think I'm going to remember it.
All right. Well, if you can't remember it, I think that's what we're going to end up calling it then.
Hell yeah.
Once again, I have been Theta. This has been Justin. We have been Stoneface Reactions, and we will catch you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching another Stoneface Reactions. If you have an idea of another video we could go ahead and watch, go ahead and put it in the comments down below and we'll add it to the wheel. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and let us know what you thought about this video, what parts you liked. And until then, we'll see you next time. Is this too goofy?